Hi, welcome to this short sequence designed to give a sense of groundedness and that reconnection with the body. So let's start off. We can either be in a seated position or perhaps lying down. Might feel more comfortable in this moment. So wherever we are, just becoming aware of the spine, a little wriggle through the spine. If you're sitting, allowing that spine to be long, almost imagining we've got a hook on the top of our head, pulling our head tall, chin gently tucked in, and the back of the neck is long. Give the shoulders a little bit of a wriggle. And then we can have our eyes closed, or maybe keeping them open, but just gazing softly. And then bringing attention to the breath. Not trying to change anything, but just observing that breath rolling in and that breath rolling out. If it's comfortable, just breathing in and out through the nose, but knowing it's fine to breathe through the mouth as well. And just observing. Is the breath shallow? Is it deep? Is it smooth? Is it jagged? But without judgment, just noticing and not trying to change anything. If it feels comfortable, perhaps making a mudra with the fingers, connecting the thumb to the first finger and having the palms up or the palms down. Having an explore, see which one feels more grounding for you today. Maybe that the hands resting on the knees feels most grounding. And then expanding our awareness. So we're aware of the whole body. Noticing the clothing on the skin. Noticing the temperature of the air around us. The sensation of the ground beneath us, holding us steady. And then gathering awareness again to the breath. Perhaps bring a hand to the heart and a hand to the belly. And starting to breathe into the belly. Filling up the belly as we breathe in, allowing the belly to expand. As we breathe out, allowing the belly to relax. Perhaps the belly button draws towards the spine a little, but not really forcing too much. Just feeling this breath. It may come easily, it may be a little more difficult today. Just being kind to ourselves, being compassionate, knowing whatever it is today, that it's okay. Just feeling that felt sensation of breathing, the air coming in and the air going out. And then seeing if we can extend the exhalation. So perhaps breathing in for 2 or 3 seconds. And then breathing out for 4 to 6 seconds. Let's start with 2. Breathing in for 1, 2. Breathing out for 1, 2, 3, 4. And just going on your own rhythm. Maybe extending, maybe shortening. And then coming back to the natural breath. feeling that sensation of breathing, those little movements of the body as we let the air in and the air rolls out again. And releasing the hands, wiggling the fingers, wiggling the toes, and then gently blinking open the eyes if they've been closed. Let's take a moment here to come back into this room, wiggling the shoulders, move from side to side. And looking behind us, maybe stretching through the arm behind and coming over to the other side. And then let's make our way to a 4-point kneeling position. Hands under shoulders, knees under hips, or thereabouts. And let's move into our cat-cow or our spinal wave. So starting with the tailbone, lifting the tailbone up, dropping the belly down to the ground, and then last of all, lifting up the head. Take a breath in here. And then as we breathe out, starting with the tailbone curls down, spine curls up, and last of all, the head drops. Then breathing in again, we're waving from the tailbone, drop the belly, lift the head. And breathing out, the tailbone goes down, the back arches up, and the head drops. And breathing in. Just continuing on your own rhythm, really feeling the waves of the spine, matching with the breath if we can. And with awareness on the spine, just noticing if there's any kind of little sticky bits in the spine, and if so, maybe taking a moment just to mobilize on that little section. So here it's a bit sticky for me, so I'm just going up and down a little bit there, just to add a little bit of looseness, a bit of awareness. And then continuing with the wave. And then when we come to our last angry cat or cow, with the head dropped down, bring the knees wide, big toes together, and sitting back onto the heels, going into a child's pose. Just taking a moment here, feel free to support the head on the hands. Breathing into the back of the body here as if the whole of the lower back is expanding. Breathing in, perhaps sighing it out through the mouth. And then gently making our way to a standing position. Standing in any way that feels comfortable. Coming to the top of the mat, bring our hands together at heart center. And breathing in as we raise up through the arms. Breathing out as we fold forward, hinging from the hips. Hands come towards the ground, we can bend those knees. Breathing in as we look up, flatten the back. Breathing out as the hands come to the ground, stepping back with the right leg, drop the knee. And we can flatten the foot here, or keep the toes tucked under. Squeeze the inner thighs together. And lifting up through the chest as we breathe in. As we breathe out, stepping back, the left leg back. And so we're in a plank with knees down. If you want to lift the knees and fire away through the heels, that's fine. But knees down is perfectly great for now. And then breathing in here. Breathing out as we lower to the ground, keeping the elbows close into the body. Release the toes. Breathing in as we lift up into a baby cobra. Breathing out, back down. Tuck the toes back under. Coming into 4-point kneeling. And then up into a downward dog, but a very loose downward dog. Feet can be quite wide. Just walking those legs out. Just breathing naturally here. And then breathing in as we raise up the right leg. Breathing out as we bring that knee towards the nose. And then bringing the foot either down to the middle of the mat or all the way forwards to between the hands. So from the middle, we can maybe hop the foot to in between the hands into our high lunge here. Just breathing for a moment, feeling the sensation, feeling the feet on the ground, pressing the toes in, pressing the feet in. And breathing in as we look up, coming to the fingertips, breathing out back down, bending the back knee. So breathe in and breathing out, bringing that foot so the feet are together at the top of the mat. And then holding the arms here, dangling, allowing ourselves to exhale, perhaps let out a sigh. And then gently rolling all the way up as if we're stacking one vertebrae on top of the neck. Those knees can be bent as we roll all the way up. Raising the arms above the head and bringing the hands together at heart center, pressing the thumbs into the heart space here, really connecting the palms, connecting to the heart. Seeing if we can feel the heart beating. Maybe yes, maybe no. Feeling our feet on the ground. Expanding our breath. It's almost as if the whole body is breathing here. Each breath in, we're taking in this new energy, this new vitality. Every breath out, we can feel ourselves grounding that little bit more, feeling the body that little bit more, or at least giving permission to ground, permission to feel. And breathing in, let's raise the arms above the head. Breathing out, folding from the hips, bringing the hands towards the ground, can bend the knees. Breathing in as we look up with a flat back. Breathing out, hands down, stepping back with the left leg this time, dropping the knee. We can flatten that foot or keep the toes tucked under. Breathing in as we look forwards with the chest. Breathing out, step back into that plank with the knees down, toes are tucked under. Again, knees up or down. Just breathing here, having this sense of pressing away through the knees or pressing away through the heels, drawing the navel towards the spine. And breathing out, lowering down. Release the toes, bring the feet wide, and then as we breathe in, lifting up into our King Cobra, lowering back down, breathing in up to 4-point kneeling. Keep breathing in as we move towards downward dog, finding stillness here for a few breaths. Even weight between the hands and the feet, and those knees can be bent, and if it's more comfortable, have the knees, the feet a little bit wider. And breathing in as we raise the left leg up towards the ceiling. Breathing out, bend the knee and bringing the knees towards the nose. And then popping that foot down either in the middle of the mat or up between the hands. If it's in the middle, walking it towards the hands. And breathing in, shining through the heart space. Breathing out, head back down, bending the knee. And breathing in, foot to the top of the mat. Breathing out, dangling, maybe folding the arms here. Maybe breathing in and then exhaling through the mouth. Release the hands. Breathe in as we roll all the way. Back up. Raising up the arms. And breathing out to bring the hands to close at heart center. Releasing through the hands here. Give the body a little bit of a shake. And then let's make our way down to the ground. We're going to move into pigeon posture. So let's start off in a downward dog. Let's float the right leg behind. And then bringing that right knee to that right wrist. The leg is at kind of 45 degrees along the mat, and the top of the foot is in contact with the mat. And then walking that back leg away, and just checking in here, making sure there's no knee pain at all in either knee. Then we can keep the body upright here, or if we want, we can fold forward, just seeing which variation feels better today. And just pausing, breathing here. If there's any kind of strong sensations at all, perhaps breathing in to those areas of the body. Breathing in, allowing expansion. Breathing out, letting go. And feeling the changing sensations in the body. Feeling the ground beneath us holding us. And then gently, if you've been folding forwards, walking the hands back up, tucking the back toes under, pressing through the hands to release up to a very loose downward dog. Maybe pedal the feet out a little. And then this time, raise up that left leg, bend the knees, we bring the knee to the left wrist. Again, the shin is at a, just to show you, the shin is at kind of a 45-degree angle here. The foot is flat on the ground, so the top of the foot is on the mat. Stretch away that back leg, release the toes. And again, you can choose, do you want the torso to be upright here? Or are we going to walk down with the hands? Again, really checking with the knees, make sure there's no pain. And lowering down. And again, breathing, noticing these changing sensations in the body. They might be subtle, they might be strong. Really using the breath, breathing in to expand. Breathing out to let go. Giving this tension permission to go on its way. Or perhaps giving ourselves permission to let be, to allow what is arising to be here and to be present just in this moment. Last deep breath here. And then very gently using the hands to walk the torso up. Tuck the toes under. And coming back up into downward dog. And then gently walking the feet forwards. Coming to a seat with the knees bent. Stretching the arms away, fingertips away. Draw the navel in towards the spine. And then tilting the pelvis back. So imagining we've got press studs the whole way up the spine. And we're gently rolling down, one at a time, going as slowly as we can, breathing as much as we can. All the way down. Then bringing the heels a little closer. We're setting up for our bridge here. And then so we're pressing the lower back into the mat. As we do, the tailbone lifts a little. Keep going with that lift of the tailbone, squeezing the buttocks as we lift up through the spine, one vertebrae at a time. To the top, pausing for a moment, and then breathing out as we lower back down. So pressing one vertebrae at a time, slowly moving down. And then continuing, breathing in, lifting up. And like we did for the cat-cow at the beginning, if you find a sticky spot, just gently moving up and down, giving a little massage into that area. And just continue feeling the spine, feeling the ground beneath us. And if you find ourselves wandering off into analysis or planning, or perhaps the thoughts are in the past or the future, then just gently bringing ourselves back to this moment, back to the sensations in the spine, back to the sensation of the body touching the ground beneath us. And then when we next come down, let's draw the knees into the chest. Give ourselves a little bit of a hug. Maybe lift the head towards the knees as well. And then head back down, just rolling from side to side, maybe making circles, a little bit of a massage for the spine here. And then let's bring the arms out to a T. If you're short of room, you can make, the cactus arms. And let the knees roll over to the right hand side. So with the knees in, knees stuck together, ankles stuck together, over to that right hand side, and then letting the shoulder ground down. We can look over to the left, and then just breathing. And that's out breath, feeling the full out breath. Feeling the sensation of the air coming back in. And actively breathing out, allowing that out breath to be long. Breathing out, letting go. And then gently bringing the head back to centre, bringing the knees back to centre. Draw the knees in again, one last little hug. And then arms back out to the T, letting the knees roll over to the left hand side this time. And if that right hand shoulders kind of come up, just gently placing that shoulder back down. If you find that your knees are wanting to lift, always grab a cushion or a block and just pop a block either under the bottom leg or between the legs, just to add that little bit of support. If the body knows that the ground is there, it can often relax into it a little bit more. And then looking with the head over towards the other side. And being aware of the whole of the body. Breathing in the whole of the body. This fresh, new breath. And breathing away anything we no longer need. Breathing away the loss of connection, allowing ourselves to use this out breath to connect with the ground, to connect with the body. And then gently bringing the head back to centre, bringing the knees back to centre, giving ourselves a little hug in here. And then let's move into our final relaxation. Just a short Shavasana here. If you want to take a blanket, if you've got one handy, please feel free. Even though it's just a couple of minutes, it's really important to be comfortable. So bring the feet wide, let the feet loll out to the side. Hands by the body, either close or further away, finding that comfortable position for your shoulders. The lower back's a bit niggly, maybe bending up the knees, letting the knees fall in to each other. As always, allow the eyes to be open and softly gazing, or having the eyes closed. And then bringing attention to the breath. Not trying to change anything, we're just noticing. Where do we feel it in the body? And then expanding awareness to the whole of the body, noticing the body on the mat, noticing where the body touches the mat and where the body doesn't touch the mat, noticing the gaps. Being aware of the skin, the air on the skin, clothing touching the skin. The sensations of pressure, the sensations of temperature. And then expanding awareness further, being aware of any sounds in the room, perhaps outside the room. And noticing the gaps in the sound, the changing textures of the sounds. And then again, gathering awareness once again to the breath. And gently deepening the breath, filling up the belly with a big breath. And let it out through the mouth with a sigh. Breathing in, filling up the belly, filling up the whole of the body with this fresh breath. And let it go with a sigh. And once again, breathing in, filling up the whole of the body, the whole of your being. And let go. And coming back to the natural breath. Wiggling fingers, wiggling toes. Now just moving the jaw, maybe making a kind of a yawn with the mouth. Looking up between the eyebrows with the eyes. And gently opening the eyes. Being aware of the space that we're in now. Seeing what's there. And then very gently bending up the knees, rolling over to the right hand side into that fetal-like position. Support the head where necessary. And just take a moment here to check in with the body. And knowing that our present moment experience is this patchwork of pleasant, of unpleasant, and of neutral. And then gently allowing a smile to come to the corners of our mouths, maybe internally or maybe externally. And then very gently making our way back up to a seated position. I'd like to thank you for taking the time to practice today. Namaste.